A man claiming to be 47-year-old Roy Hérault appeared in Missoula Justice Court yesterday, accused of beating and strangling his girlfriend and threatening her with a machete when she called 911. Starting with how Hérault allegedly beat and strangled the victim, Deputy Missoula County Attorney Mark Hanlon explained to Judge Landy Holloway why he was asking for bail of $50,000.
The victim then tried to call 911. The defendant grabbed the phone from her and told her 911 would call back, then grabbed a homemade machete and held it over the victim's head and told her, when 911 called back, to say everything was okay, which the victim did. The defendant was making swinging motions with the machete while she was on the phone with 911.
Hanlon then went on to detail an extensive criminal history.
The defendant has previously assaulted this victim by strangling her with an extension cord and often perpetrates this type of violence against this victim. Second, an inability to comply with court orders. The defendant's criminal history indicates that he has been revoked on his felony cases numerous times in the past 5 years.
Judge Holloway set bail at $50,000, ordered the defendant to appear again on November 14th, and an official with the county attorney's office told me that the name Hérault was an alias. Following threatening Facebook posts reported last weekend against certain students, Frenchtown School Superintendent Randy Klein issued the following statement, quote, "The district became aware of racially derogatory and threatening social media posts made by 2 Frenchtown students over the weekend. Due to the threatening nature of the posts, the students have been removed from school while the district investigates the incident. The district will follow the law, its policies, and its procedures when determining appropriate disciplinary action," end quote. 1 boy and 1 girl have been suspended. The Missoula County Attorney's Office is looking into the matter to determine if charges might be filed against the 2 juveniles. Yesterday, there were reports of a bear getting into garbage cans on Big Flat Road. According to Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Bear Manager Jamie Jonkel, that bear isn't the only one that he's been dealing with around the Missoula area.
Well, it's a lot more than just one bear. I can tell you that. Big Flat, Rattlesnake, everywhere. Anyone that's leaving their garbage out all week is encouraging bears to come in. I'm averaging about 10, 15 calls a day.
Jonkel said this summer was good for bears, but although there were lots of berries, a huckleberry just doesn't match up to an apple or some juicy leftover human food.
Most of the folks want us to come trap a bear that's getting in the garbage that they're leaving out all week. Or eating their apples next to their door on their apartment. You know, what we're telling folks is, you got to keep your garbage contained. We don't trap on top of garbage. If you've got apples near your balcony or off your back porch and you got a bear feeding in them, pick your apples. Clean up.
It's especially important to keep things clean at this time of year, as bears are in a state called hyperphagia, which basically means very hungry. That drives them to eat ravenously before they begin to hibernate. A federal appeals court has set aside the conviction of a Ferndale man who shot 3 grizzly bears that he claimed killed some of his chickens. The 3-judge panel of the 9th U.S. Circuit Court ruled this week that a magistrate judge erroneously rejected Dan Calvert Wallen's contention that he killed the bears out of fear for himself and his family. Wallen was convicted in 2015 of unlawfully taking a threatened species and sentenced to 3 years of probation and $15,000 in restitution. Prosecutors had argued that conflicting statements from Wallen after the killings undermined his claims of self-defense, but the panel said Wallen could make such claims even if his fears were unreasonable. The decision sends the case back to a lower court for a new trial. This week, Linda Moss joined the growing list of people preparing to run for Montana's lone House seat in 2018. Moss is a former Montana state senator from Billings who says her background makes her a strong candidate for the job.
I have an amazing portfolio of experience. I have worked in the nonprofit sector, in the world of philanthropy and foundations, as well as in the world of policy for over 30 years. So I have a lifetime of experience working in public service.
Moss says health care is a universal right and that she would support big reforms to health care like Medicare for all. However, she does not see eye to eye with Donald Trump on any topic.
I am very concerned about many of the executive orders that undermining access to health care for women, undermining some of the checks and balances that we have within our financial industries. I don't think I have any place where I really support the work that our current president has set forth.
And here's another candidate. Kathleen Williams, a three-term Democrat state lawmaker from Bozeman, has announced her candidacy now for Montana's lone House seat. Williams said in a statement yesterday that political polarization in Congress is bad for the country, and she'd work with diverse interests to get things done. In the state House, she helped shepherd through a water compact between the state and the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes. Williams is a former Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks employee and now works for the conservation group Western Landowners Alliance. She joins a Democratic field that includes Billings attorney John Heenan, former Land Trust Director Grant Keir from Missoula, State Representative Tom Woods of Bozeman. They're seeking to challenge Republican Representative Greg Gianforte. The primary is in June. Reach Air Medical provides communities with air ambulance helicopters and airplanes. They fly critically injured and ill patients either from the scene of an accident or a smaller hospital to wherever they need to go. Director of Business Strategy Don Wharton says providing these types of services can be expensive when balanced billing is being implemented.
What that means is when a patient receives care, and that's not just from us, it could be from a hospital, whatever portion your primary health insurance does not cover, there tends to be a remaining balance, and that's what is referenced as balanced billing. So that remaining balance would be the responsibility of the patient to pay for.
According to Wharton, reimbursement from Medicare and Medicaid has not kept pace with the rise in cost to deliver this type of business. He explains how the passing of Senate Bill 44 should help Montanans.
It essentially takes the patient out of the middle of us as the provider and the insurance company, whichever one that may be. If there is a dispute over a balance bill, it leaves that discussion, it leaves that topic between provider and payer. So it really holds the patient harmless.
Wharton says Montana is one of the lowest commercially reimbursed states in the union, but the passing of this bill should lead to significant change. Our News Talk time is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Low clouds and patchy freezing fog this morning will give way to mostly sunny skies this afternoon. Daytime highs will be in the mid-50s. Tonight, mostly clear. Lows in the 20s. Sunny with our high temperatures in the mid-60s on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECA 13.